Salve, citizens, and welcome to the last Caretaker. Let's do this full playthrough. We've played this a bit on stream, but we want to do just a full playthrough from the start, so that's what we're going to do. We'll try and give some guidance as we go. So number 6 for flashlight, so you can see what you're doing. Nothing here is working. So it says hold E to loot all trash that's in the area. Left click to pull that open.
It's dark and quiet now, but it doesn't have to stay that way. Reconnect the power. Bring this place back to life.
So we need to see if we can locate an electric cable. And here's one here. Let's grab all that stuff. That's just a poor robot. We're going to grab all that. So then we just press E and connect the battery, like so. And then we want to flip that switch.
Every restored connection brings us closer to reclaiming our home. We've lingered here long enough, Caretaker. Head to the docking hangar. There's something important.
So left click to
waiting
grab
show
that.
us our path.
I don't know if we're going to be able to get up there. There's some loot there. Okay, we won't be going up there. But there's some loot up there. Okay. Let's move on. Okay, we've wasted enough time. So we're headed to the dock. As we go, we can press all these buttons to turn on the lights. And we'll slow down a little bit in this room, because I do want to go in here. You want to stop and grab stuff like this, because it's going to be useful later on in the game. Where does this lead? Okay, that's the way we need to go. Okay. Let's slow down and grab everything. So all these batteries, all these batteries are good. They'll come down here. So grab that to heal, connect to self. That's going to heal us. When it's done, you hold E to detach that, and then you want to back up everything like that. We're going to use backup slot 7. There we go. We always want to slow down and check like this. Make sure we've gotten everything. We will take the elevator up. And we're going to press the batteries just twice. And if you really wanted to, along the way, you could be stopping and grabbing all this stuff. Stuff like this is important to grab. Like these batteries. Those. Then these things are going to be needed later on when you're, like, setting up to find a human. Anything there? No. Carry on up. Nothing there. Okay. It's worth it to do those stops and to grab things. At least I think it is. Oh, and here we go. So press C to attack with this. There you go. So C key to attack with that. And eventually you can also swing as well with this if you want it to. If not, you can always just use the crowbar, which you always just have. Alright.
There she is. Your
We're going to
vessel.
grab all this junk.
More than just metal and circuits.
You can also hold that.
This
Like
bolt is how you'll
that
reclaim your
that battery
secrets
we just
and perhaps
held
your
that.
identity.
We'll show that again. So you can
Dock
attach
systems
to
are
the top.
offline. Without them, we're trapped here. Restore the power.
There's so much talking.
So we
Right, you
save
can
the
hold E to stash that. So we need to sort out how to get the power turned back on. So we're going to work on that now. We have reached a level 2, which is great because that's going to allow us to have the dismantle tool, as well as a few other things that we need across the board here. Let's carry on. I'll do a quick jump there. So that's where we're going to be going eventually. That's the ship we're going to take out of here. But for now, we are going to hopefully go that way, but it looks like we need to do something with some power first. Let's see what's going on out here. So this cable, you press Q. Hold Q down to reel that in. That battery's full. We'll leave those batteries there. Take all these with us. We'll deal with that eventually, and we'll leave those there for now. Let's look and see. I think we need to get some power plugged in somewhere to turn the lights on here. Don't quite remember where. Let's see here. Yes. Through here. I'm pretty sure. Maybe not. Maybe so, yeah. That's cool. Love letters. So again, all that stuff will be explained eventually, like all the cool stuff we're looting. There's a certain way to go to turn this on. Oh, okay. Yeah, they just open. Just left click. But that one's for sure locked. Let's go look upstairs. I'm pretty sure we go through one of these vents. Yeah, right here. Here we go. This is what we need. We'll cut this way. We'll grab all this stuff. Yep. Alright, so we press number 5, and it wants us to repair this. So we left-click to repair. That's done. That's all you need to do, thankfully. And then we want to set that up like that. This is a great example of a lot of cool things going on in the early game. And what I mean is you can follow these cables upstairs, and it kind of shows you how to get a bunch of power going on eventually. Let's hit that. There we go. There's the boat. And we'll look upstairs. You can see this cable goes all the way up.
These waters were once pathways, carrying life, purpose, and discovery. Something awaits you out there, ready to be reclaimed.
And it's good to come up here because, again, you're going to find a lot of loot for the later game. And you can also see there's stuff here that needs repaired. And this will provide just a lot of additional power to you and your goings on. Let's plug that in. But we're not going to waste money repairing anything other than the power over here. So again, we're just pressing C to break these open. And then we press number 5. So that needs plastic. That needs a little bit of everything. So if you wanted to, you could definitely take the time to come up here and repair some of this stuff. It does look like this one also needs plastic, but it is working, whereas everything else is very broken. But we're going to pick up the scraps. We're going to press number 4 and take some of these batteries. Just because right now that makes more sense than everything else. So this is running power back inside, which is great. So that'll keep the batteries downstairs filling up with energy. It'll be one less step for us to do. And this is a place that already has some machinery in it. There's a place like this inside as well. So we could be running these machines right now, do a little bit of basic crafting and grinding of resources. But we won't. Right now, we're going to just take a peek around, see if there's anything we really need to loot. And by that, I mean things that are going to help in the late game. Like stuff like this, the artifacts is what we're double checking for right now. Because there are quite a few up here. Let's see, we need to use the recycler to extract things. We need to power up the boat. We need to fill up the boat all the way. And I just noticed this one is also running nicely, so let's run cable over here and get this plugged in right here. Got a little bit more power going in now. We're going to take that cable with us because we're not going to do any more than that. But this here, where you're finding power supplies on roofs of buildings, like this is a very common mechanic that's going to be going on as you play through the game. You're going to find stuff like this a lot. Well, this is cool. Let's go down here. Go down even further, but I'm not going to. Does the basketball become anything? No, it doesn't. Okay, that's cool though. Any other loot? No, not really. But again, take your time. This is one of those games that you do really want to explore and understand. And it's not a game that I have found is as fun when you rush. So really take your time. Discover all the treasures and the cool things that you see in this world here. This is cool. You can drop that ladder down. So now this is a shortcut back up upstairs if you need to go upstairs for any reason. And we're right back here. That is how you open the hangar door. Let's do a little bit of getting things in order. So left click hold to move these robots onto your base. Don't miss the water like me. I am really stuck here, aren't I? I am. Holy crap. Okay. That's a first. To press spacebar like 50 times there. Let's try this ladder. Come on, go, 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 go. There we go. Alright, we're on the vessel. Holy cow. Alright, so we want to take this over here. We want to plug this in. We want to take all the fuel possible. We're going to moor the ship. Pull it a little bit closer. So we are not getting pinched like that again. So you just press E to grab those. And then we want to take this power over here. We want to fill up the boat as much as we can, full of power. That's what we want to see. And then we get this out. Can't repair that yet, so what we're going to do is open this. All these machines are already here and ready to go. We're going to loot a bunch of stuff. Flip this on. Open this. Press F to start crushing everything. We gotta wait for more points and more levels to do what we need to do, but that's just gonna keep crushing stuff for a while. You can see there the plastic is going up. As long as you're in range, you can use resources on the ground. It seems to be like a 10 to 20 foot radius. So that's been repaired. This is the engine itself. This is what's going to increase the speed of your ship. Still not 100% sure what this one does. It just also runs your ship. Then you can carry stuff like this with left click. Sorry, robot friend. You want to just come over here and shove them in the crusher. Like so. Get a bunch of resources coming in. Then we need to grab tires. Can you actually grab the bed? No, it's too heavy. But you want to grab tires for rubber. So, and then if you have the time, spend 10 or 15 minutes before you even leave. Crush as many of these semi-rare resources as you can. Fabric's always kind of a pain. Rubber's always kind of a pain. Even plastic can be pretty difficult to find. So let's do a bunch of tires here. When you're ready, open the dock doors and sail out. There we go. Power up the boat. We're at 2.47. So I think at that point what it wants us to do is plug this in and build an additional electric engine. I think. But there's also this one here, which is great. And we'll take this down. So it's 2.47. Does that change it? No, it doesn't. Okay. What we will do is go ahead and burn these batteries into this big battery tank. There we go. One more time. And we want all this power to go into the boat as quickly as possible. There we go. That seems to be doing what we want. So this is another one. You can switch the mode to equalize, so the power between the boat and this stays equal. You can press F once to draw current in, and press F one more time to push current out, push the power out into the boat itself. So that's fully stored. This is fully stored. We want to grab these cables. We want to set this over here for later. And I just found this other engine. Again, this is increasing power. So we've done everything we need to do. The next step is simply to leave the dock. But I would like to crush a little bit more of stuff like this. And remember, when you're using the cables, you have a 20-meter radius. So you can connect with E to yourself. Then you press T and select the dismantle tool, and then we can just come out here. And we're fully stuck on the power on the boat from that battery bank over there. So we'll stay full power, and we can just sit here and cut stuff up and get as much scrap as we can for this adventure. And we're not losing any power because we're plugged into the boat power. Let's see. We want the rubber. Let's get as many rubber scraps as we can, because again, that one's kind of a pain to get. This one's good. These beds are really nice to break down. We'll grab that plastic. We want to chop up these pallets at least a little bit. And again, you could do this for 10 or 20 minutes, get as much resource as you can. If your inventory is full, simply just drop the resources on the ground. But when you're ready, you press E to pull the mooring, like so. We're on the vessel. I want to save it before we do this. We want to hit back up. We're going to back up on slot 7. And then we're going to fully heal our character. And we're good to go. We've got what we need. We've got plenty of diesel fuel. Is that all we had? Is this thing empty? No, it's set to equalize. Alright, so don't equalize the fuel. Make sure that you do that. And then once this tank is empty, you're going to want to break that down, even though you're not going to get everything, since we don't know the pattern, but you're going to want to break that down for when you leave. We've opened the door. We could go back in here and do a double check, because we did not ever open the store here. So see if there's anything in here that you want to take. You could, again, break this down if you want it for some of the stuff that's there, but since we're not, you know, fully knowing what those recipes are, you're not going to get everything. Here we go. But we're set. I think we're as set as we're going to be. We've gotten a lot of materials, gotten a lot of stuff. The last step to gaining levels, though, is you do have to loot all that material that you've processed. That gives you a lot of experience, oftentimes. And we did get a level. We're going to crush all that. Take all that. So we look at skills again. We want that unlocked. We want that unlocked. We want some sort of gun. And then don't forget to use your enhancer points, which is going to give you the ability to have more health, more haul weight. So we'll do 5 of that. Something that is important is how much you can lift. Pressure, how deep you can swim, is more important than you realize. It's for a quest later on. And then we'll do scrapper for now, but we'll eventually upgrade the battery pack, the power bank, all of that. I think that's a great spot to call it. We have done all the checks and balances, and in the next episode we'll talk about leaving this starter zone and what we're going to do when we do. Y'all take care and enjoy.